playing with the wide-angle lens this morning, was focusing on, I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. Now, this word covenant is very important, and I've been kind of refocusing on covenant lately, which is silly that I'm just now focusing on it, but whatever. There's so many things to consider. Covenant is a bond, but it's a sort of an active promise, I like to think of it as, and a sealed thing. God came and made a covenant relationship with this paltry people, the Jews, and through them has worked mighty miracles and chose to reveal much about his nature that is then spread throughout the world. I don't know what the percentage of Jewish people is in the world. Perhaps someone could look that up and leave it in the comments. But the percentage of people who have then followed the words of Christ, who was then pretty much the sort of the stated denouement or whatever, or that climax, I guess, climactic covenant with us through that people has now spread, at least in verbally, because it is such a powerful message and such a powerful message of love, and fulfillment of the law as well as revelation of the law, that it's not that any rules God has laid down are to be approached not only just in obedience, but in understanding and in a right relationship. And I think that's what covenant's about too, is about this right relationship. So this verse in Genesis is just, not just, but is in reference to one of those awesome Sunday school stories where the flood happens. Booty! Oh.
Oh. Really?
Yeah?
No.
There, look, I guided you out. It really was mostly leg, Bubba. It's her pajamas. What? Pajamas. Anyway, so the earth is at a place where it is nasty and wicked, and we have seen portions of the earth right now that you would describe as utterly reprobate, and nowadays we just place sanctions on them. So the earth was in a state, and humanity was in a state that God was almost wanted to start over, and flooded the entire earth, saving a single family and all the cool animals. And no, biblically there's no reference to the unicorn. Sorry guys. I was bummed about that too, or griffins or whatever. And when they come back, he sets this rainbow, which we see all the time, as a symbol of his covenant that to not destroy the world again. That things were right and could proceed. In a way, I think of the cross, even though, again, it's a token, but a token of a covenant. The cross is a token of a covenant where actually God came to do the opposite sort of thing. The world was so filled with wickedness, and it's funny too, because he'd also reflected a portion of his nature, which I think is very interesting, which is, we are not to judge not lest ye also be judged. And the lest ye also be judged is God. God is the adjudicator. He is the decider of fair and unfair. He is the ultimate righteous justice, which we crave and we so desire. Like, if I had never read that, I want God to be that, I mean, and the funny thing is, I totally want God to be that, but maybe not for me, which is a whole reflection of my human nature as well. But the cross I like to think of as a token of a covenant as well. That it is a representational image of a moment or a lifetime, but in the grand scheme of time, a moment that is the new covenant, where God once came to ravage the earth, to judge all, which He will come to do again. Not in that sort of way, though. But then He came in this other moment, going, "Wow, you people are so lost," and He came to offer this flood again, not of destruction, but of salvation and of sacrifice. In the previous one, He sacrificed much of His creation, and in this one, where He comes upon us and He brought Christ to us to speak truth and move people and fulfill prophecy and to shake and move our hearts, and then to sacrifice, that a flood of salvation would then spread out through people's relationship to people, which is just a gorgeous image to think about. It reminds me of that giant robot cover. I don't know the artist. Sorry, maybe someone could look him up too. The Hokusai wave, that sort of classic Japanese painting, the wave. There's a little boat rocking in it. Well, this artist did this one. It's this huge Hokusai wave, and then instead of water droplets, it's all bunnies. I like to think of the wave of salvation, really, and forgiveness, like brutally earned and richly undeserved, but offered forth nonetheless, of this giant wave with all of us, all of the saints and God's disciples, and just human beings, faulty, messed up human beings, transformed in so many ways, in a moment-to-moment basis and a lifetime basis, and there's all that's fraught with its own sort of story and its own sort of peril, but sort of cascading out from that cross moment, from that moment of that covenant. And we're now walking in the new covenant, or in the renewed covenant, or the fulfilled covenant in many ways. And we're kind of on a whole exodus now, from Christ's point to whenever this is all done. So yeah, think of all that when you see a rainbow or a cross. That's all. Story time. If you got this far, I know it's a little long on this one, but whatever. Do you have a token of a covenant in your life that is very precious? This is a fine example of one. I have some tattoos on my body that I would find tokens of covenant. I don't know which one's my favorite. I'm not going to say. But what's your favorite? Is it a teddy bear? Is it a ring? Is it a piece of jewelry? Is it a tattoo? What is a thing in your life that is a token of a covenant with a person, with God, with a movement, with an idea, anything? Let me know. I bet there's some cool stories in there. That is all.